Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to October. This is kind of your month, especially at the end of October. We'll be heading into total Scorpionic season there. There's a lot of activity going on, so let's just kind of jump right into it. Okay, on October 2nd, the solar eclipse will happen in your 12th house, repeating a pattern or a story from last October 2023, when there was also a Mercury conjunction then. So this is very significant what's happening now. We also have the South Node involved at this time, also conjunct with the eclipse. And there's also Lilith in the mix, the rebel rouser there, and a fixed star in the Virgo constellation known as Vindicatrix. The South Node has been in that 12th house, draining those 12th house topics. What does the 12th house cover? Well, a lot of things. It covers past lives, rest, seclusion, like you've probably been needing more of it with the South Node transiting there, kind of draining all the energy out of it. It's a rest house as it is. Foreign shore business, foreign shore money like PayPal, Stripe, or companies that have foreign parent companies. Like maybe you work locally for a company, but you find out that they have a parent company in like London, something like that. Our hidden enemies fall here. Ashrams, music, and deep artistic projects fall here. Self-inducing addictions, subconscious patterning, also deep spirituality that doesn't come from a teacher. So spirituality is covered by the 9th house as well, but that's usually spirituality that you learn from like a guru or a course of study. The 12th house, it comes from like the divine. It's Neptune, it's a house ruled by Neptune. The dream world or meditation. The North Node has been focused on your 6th house of day-to-day work, health, vitality, your routines, people that you hire. I'm so sorry about that. But I can't record at my house. It's just too chaotic there right now, so I'm hiding in my treehouse. And amongst nature, we're going to deal with things like this. Okay, your health, your vitality, people that you hire, that you employ, your pets fall here. Enemies also fall in the 6th house, and the 7th is open enemies. Anyway, the North Node has been here trying to help you conquer these areas, help you advance in all these areas since the nodes shifted there in July of 2023. With the 12th house lit up right now, I see a new beginning in this 12th house, in the 12th house topics that I just covered. Maybe you met someone, a foreigner, and likely from a past life, maybe even in your own country, for example, like, maybe you haven't traveled to a foreign country, but you end up meeting somebody who you find out was born in a foreign country. And it will be very likely that they're from a past life. Especially because at first Libra solar eclipse in October 23 kind of like opened that portal for these types of people to come through. This person could have helped you with negotiations or contracts because Mercury is involved, and Mercury rules contracts as well. And this could have to do with a foreign business, wanting to develop a foreign business, or wanting to develop a business locally that has a foreign reach, so through the internet somehow. You could have also come in contact with a foreign healer that helped you with a new health or work routine, or who has helped you get rid of like an addiction or helped you start a journey with healing subconscious patterns or buried issues in that 12th house area now. And now you're gaining clarity, you're healing, and you're emerging a new you with the story being highlighted again. You could have gained important insights or spiritual downloads, or even been working on artistic projects that were seeded last October and behind the scenes and are gaining momentum now, being brought back out into the light with this eclipse, hitting that same point again. And they could be projects that could be very wealthy for you or help you gain a lot of wealth. You could be isolated at this time, but happily so, with the depositor of this eclipse, which is Venus, in your first house. So retreating for pleasure, creativity, or to be alone with a partner is this 12th house, is a house of bed pleasures and seclusion. So there's that. There is a square from Mars and Cancer in that 9th house over to the Sun in the 12th, which can create friction, but also energy around travel at this time, or the new beginnings that you're trying to make in that 12th house area. For example, like starting a business that you have foreign ties and you're disagreeing with your foreign business partner. Or it's a spiritual based business. Maybe you're trying to publish like a fantasy novel and your agent, who's covered by the ninth house, wants you to go back over and do some edits, or maybe they disagree with the structure of the story or the book, for example. You could just be desiring freedom or independence and feeling energized to get a project off the ground, or maybe frustrated about getting a project off the ground. Your Mars, you're Scorpio, so you want to like get stuff done, just like Aries. You and Aries are both ruled by Mars. So you can free yourself from a limiting job as well in that sixth house. And I'm so sorry again about the crows. I'll try to edit them out. However, sometimes when I edit, I have to get a better editing program because it makes it all sound like synthy, Anyway, now they're quiet. All right. You could just be desiring freedom or independence or feeling energized. I mentioned that. You want to get away from that sixth house day-to-day mundane humdrum existence. As Lilith and a fixed star Vindi Beatrix is involved. Vindi Beatrix is associated with wine, and it's in the Virgo constellation. It's like one hand is holding grapes. It's known as the grape gatherer, and tied to the wine gods Bacchus and Dionysus. And also can be tied to the liver and stomach for obvious reasons. So maybe watch any drinking, especially while traveling. Maybe you can just end up being intoxicated more easily, or deal with like food or alcohol poisoning. Mars rules you and is in that ninth house, possibly signifying you just on the move, or traveling, or you're cutting ties with a foreign partner or teacher in that ninth house. And although this is a square, I think you'll be fine because Mars and Cancer trines over to your Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. And the degrees that I would be looking at would be anywhere affecting you the strongest, from 5 to 15 degrees, if I didn't mention that before. Freedom and deep shifts in perspective through travel or meditation or dreams or learning a new philosophy or religion are all possible now that can also be life-changing. The Grand Water Trine will happen in your first house, happening on the same day, over to your fifth house of luck, love, children, romance, creativity. It's all Leo areas, right? Like acting, theater. Saturn has been in Pisces in that house, possibly creating like blockages and difficulties and hardship at times. But now we're experiencing a flow of ease. Anyway, this trine is happening with the fifth, the ninth, which is, I've already mentioned, foreign travel, teachers, philosophy, travelers, higher education, publishing, foreign language, doctors, lawyers, etc. can fall here. Marriage contracts, big contracts, legalities. I keep forgetting to mention that in all the signs. It's a legal house, the ninth house, or judicial house. So the first, fifth, and ninth house. These are all houses that involve success through one's own talents, and the ninth house is a luck house. It's also a dharmic house, and the fifth is a luck house. So maybe doing good things for children, by children, can lead to rewards. Good karma could come to you through that ninth house. The ninth house is also good karma from a father. You could have success with a creative project. It could be a book, like a children's book, or a fantasy book, theater, or an acting project. You could also just be looking more magnetic right now because Venus is in your first house and Mars is in Cancer, trining you. Mars is your ruler, so you could be looking very magnetic. People could be very drawn to you at this time, Scorpio, and then we're heading into your birthday month as the month ends. So you're looking at a good, I would say, 2 months for being in the spotlight a little bit here. Could be attracting luck and love to you. Good time to play the lotto, but don't go broke on it. You could be on the move with a love partner for fun or relaxation. You don't even have to travel far. It could be like going somewhere different or unique or cultural, where people from many cultures are. Like, let's say you live in the States and you're traveling and you're discovering new things, like or new things or new people, like going to New York City, for example, which is kind of like a cultural like mixing pot. It's very exciting and there's so much culture there and arts. And you can meet a new love, or you can go to a place and explore or adventure, like hiking a mountain range. If you're in New York has a gorgeous mountain range called the Adirondacks. If you've ever been there, it can be like a spiritual experience, like finding God in nature. And again, that ninth house comes back into the picture. And like God is nature, you know. If you've ever reached a mountaintop before, it really truly is like a religious experience. You could enroll in a creative program that may take some time because Saturn is in that 5th house to develop, but will secure contracts or foreign success. Also, your children, if you have any, could be going to college, or you could have a happy breakthrough with a child now, especially because when Saturn moved into that 5th house, it may have started creating like blockages or difficulties or hardships between you and them, or for them. And also, if you've been single, maybe you've had difficulty finding like love and having fun and romance, or feeling like creative blocks if you're a writer, for example. It's all shifting now with this trine of flow and ease. Oh, thank God. Last but not least, there could be a lotto win. I think I mentioned that, but don't go broke. Okay, the outer planet trine happens between Pluto, who also rules you and is in the 3rd Capricorn house, Neptune and Pisces in your 5th, and Uranus and Taurus in the 7th house. This has been a long story and at times a very difficult one or depressing one. Saturn can, I'm sorry, not Saturn. Could have been depressing, especially with Pluto involved. And these planets stay for a long time. They're very slow, outer moving planets. Sometimes the effects are very subtle and we don't always realize them when they're a little bit more quiet. They've been in the houses of your mind, love, fun, children, romance. They've been in the house of serious partners in business or in love or the public. And now they are trying to leave with a gift as they finish the story and are getting ready to start new chapters in new houses. You know, and they'll be there for a long time in the coming years, and they'll be shifting within the next few months. This gift could be an ease or a shift in your mind, your thoughts, your ideas. Even your local neighborhood could change in a powerful way. A new beginning in love, or a new beginning with your children, and a transformation with love or a business partner. These are some things that are definitely on the table. For example, you could have a lucky transformation with a new neighborhood, or you found one and you'll be moving in the coming months with a partner. You could have business success from that 3rd house, like an app that you developed, or social media business, marketing, book writing, coffee houses, libraries all fall here, creative business, and be forming a business contract or finding an agent in that 7th house. As these new stories will shift to your 4th house, to your 6th house, and to your 8th. If you had met a love or partner, or if you have one and you do now, it will likely become quite serious, shifting to a home and family story, a daily routine and shared resources in that 8th house that you rule. Uranus will be moving to that 8th house, but will be oddly happier there in an air sign as opposed to having stayed in an earth sign, Taurus, your 7th house, where you definitely had shakeups with a partner, or new partner altogether came in suddenly for you, and it would have just been out of the blue, is Uranus's nature. All in all, it's a good trine and a happier story that's starting to unfold for you after a long time of shakeups and power struggles and confusion. All right, the full moon in Aries will happen at 25 degrees on October 17th and affects you if you have planets here from 20 to 28 degrees, and is important because it happens in your 6th house and is conjunct Chiron and sextiled by Jupiter and Gemini. Jupiter and Gemini is in your 8th house. Aries and you are both ruled by Mars, and Mars is in your 9th house in Cancer, but trining you at the time of the full moon. So you could be completing a story around work or health or a pet matter. There can be a healing completion with Chiron here, a conquering of an enemy at work that will show you in a new position. And now we have geese. I think before it might have been crows, which would have been really fitting for you, Scorpio, and for the month of October, right? All right. So anyway, within the next 6 months, a story can unfold. By the time of the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, which will happen in March, revealing a whole new chapter, okay, in this 6th house for you. The outer planets are squaring this moon, but I see the squares as a creation of energy where we need to make changes. So if you aren't completing the things that you want that are revealed in the 6th house area, health and wealth and work and routines and stuff like that, you have the green light revealed at this full moon to clearly see the path to get there. And it would behoove you to start getting on that path so that way you can see results by the time the story wraps up in March, at the end of March, with that solar eclipse in Aries, which will be great. As this month closes, it becomes your season, so enjoy. Happy Samhain, happy Halloween, All Saints, and yeah, we'll see you in November, Scorpio.